I wanted to touch on this verse in the Quran in Surah Yaseen, which is the 36th chapter of the Quran, and look at ayah number 40. If you look at the last few words where it says وَكُلٌّ فِي فَلَكٍ يَسْبَحُونَ. Okay, وَكُلٌّ, kullun is an indefinite noun, which means everything, or it's translated here as but all. Fi is a preposition, which means in. And falakin is a noun, an indefinite noun, which means an orbit. And yasbahun is a verb, which means they are floating. It's a plural as well. Okay, so they all are floating, basically. Now, if we look at this, I'm going to go through a grammatical analysis of this. What I want to talk about is starting off with the very fact that in Arabic you have something called al-huruf al-asliya. Al-huruf al-asliya. What does that mean? That means original letters. So I'm just going to write it, original letters. Apologies for the bad handwriting. I'm doing this on phone. So original letters. What does that mean? Basically, in Arabic, everything works on a root system. So every noun in Arabic has original letters. So, for instance, if you had the word Muhammad, or you have the word Hamid, or if you had the word Mahmud, they'll all have, in order, you'll have Ha, Mim, and Dal. Okay, so you could put a meme before it to make Muhammad. You could do that. So if I was to say, I'm going to just change the writing a little bit. So if I put a meme there, meme, ha, meme, dal, you'll have Muhammad. If I put a wow there, I'm not going to join them up. But if I said you had this, you could have Mahmud. If I put an alif after here, you could have Hamid as a name. If I put a ya over here, tiny ya, you could have Hamid. Okay, so what I'm trying to indicate that you'll always have an original 3-letter root system. There are 4 root letters. You can have a 4-rooted letter that typically, let's say 90% of the time, you'll always have 3 root letters. Now, in this instance, I'm going to look at the word, the 3 letters in this ayah. I'm going to look at sa, sin, ba, and ha. Sin, ba, and ha. Now, as a word, if I join that together, I would have sabaha. Okay, that is a verb. It's a verb in the past. So all these 3 root letters would indicate the action has been done in the past. And that's what the root system is about. So this would mean to swim, or he swam. The he is hidden in it. But typically you would read this as to swim. So sabaha, I'll do it better than that. So I'll join them up. So sin, you'll have the ba and you'll have the ha after sabaha. Okay, there. That's what that would mean. Now, in the ayah, what you have is, I'll get rid of that all. I'm going to write it down as it is. Now, it said وَكُلٌّ فِي فَلَكٍ يَسْبَحُونَ. I'm just going to miss out the wa because it's a connective. Okay, it's in English we'd call it conjunction. In Arabic you call it a wa'ul adf, which means a connective. So it's joining sentences together. You're joining parts in a sentence together. So I'm going to write kullun. There's a shadda on that. Kullun fi falakin yasbahun. Okay, there. Yasbahun. Right, okay. So we've got that. So kullun fi falakin yasbahun. Now, what we said was, from this verse, if we kind of go through it, we have kullun. Now, this is an indefinite noun. Why? Because there's a double dhamma on it. I'll probably explain that another time. But this means everything. So all, as in every single thing here. Kullun, fi, which is a preposition. So fi is a preposition, which means in. So everything in an orbit. Falakin. Yasbahun. Now, in the translation that I just showed you in the Quran.com website, it said it's floating. Remember, the original letters are here. Sa, ba, ha. Sin, ba, and ha, which means swimming. Okay? The indication you get from swimming, from floating, it's kind of not on land, not in air, but there's constant movement in the floating, the swimming aspect. So there is movement there constantly. Okay, but you're not really touching anything. Okay, so you've got the sin, ba, and ha there, which is the from the yasbahun. Now the ya, I'll put that in a different color so it gives it a bit more light. The ya here indicates to me now every time you see a letter at the start of a word, typically that has a ya or a ta or an alif, or even a noon, it indicates that what's coming is a verb. So it's a word of action. So this yasbahun is a word of action. It means that whatever's happening is in the present or it's in the future. So it's happening now and it will still continue to happen. So when we look at kullun fi falakin yasbahun, it means everything. So everything in orbit is floating stroke swimming. Now you can use that analogy, you can use that the term would be floating, but the indication, the underlying message here is that it's actually something which is in constant movement. But there is actually something which is more miraculous in this verse as well, which is absolutely amazing, to be fair. Now, a palindrome is a word which you can say and you can spell it backwards as well, and it sounds the same. So, for instance, if I said the word level, I could spell it backwards and it will say exactly the same thing. If I said the word race car, okay, spell that backwards, it'll be exactly the same thing. Race car. So that's quite an amazing, that's quite a remarkable thing that you have some words there. But this is even more miraculous. Why? And I'll tell you why. If we look at the word kullun fi falakin, okay, we can see that the last letter of falakin is a kaf, and the first letter of kullun is also a kaf. So I'm just going to put a dot there. Not the best of the dots. I'll do it better. So we've got there. So we've got kullun. Okay, there. All right, let's change the color now to a different color. Okay, and then you've got the second letter, which is lam, and the penultimate letter from falakin, which is also lam. So we've got lam, and we've got lam also here. Okay, the next letter which we have in this palindrome is the fa. Okay, so we've got fa there, and we've got fa. Okay, now the letter which is actually in the middle of all of this is actually this ya here. Okay, so we've got the ya here. This kind of points towards this ya here of action. Okay, what's this word doing? Yasbahun, swimming. Now, if you look at all these letters that we've just gone through, if you look at all these letters, they're actually swimming around the ya. They're all swimming. They're all actually orbiting this letter here, the ya. And that's amazing. So even in the Quran, I know it's a book which you can read in translation, and to be fair, the translation doesn't do justice at all to the Arabic, because the miracle is actually in the Arabic itself. This is amazing because this actually gives you some idea that everything, when we say the word Subhanallah, we're actually glorifying Allah, but we're still using that root system of Sin, Ba, and Ha, the swimming element. So when we say Subhanallah, we're actually saying everything, even in the universe. We're indicating everything in the universe to the smallest subatomic elements, which are still orbiting, a central part, even in an atom. And then we'll explore that further. So if we said the Earth is rotating in on itself in an orbit, the Moon is orbiting the Earth, the Earth is then orbiting the sun is orbiting in our galaxy, the galaxy is orbiting in the universe, and we can expand on that, and you can even go smaller to the smallest particles, which are the subatomical particles, which are still rotating. You have electrons and neutrons, and everything is moving. So everything in the universe is actually orbiting, and it's amazing to think that we have the word kullun here, which means everything, as in every single thing in our universe, everything in in an orbit is swimming. But again, like I said, the miraculous thing that's been told here is that we actually do have an orbit movement in the actual verse around the letter Ya, and that letter Ya will indicate this action here of Yasbahun, which is amazing.